상태이기 때문에 오늘 열심히 하겠습니다. BNK PX 화이팅!
For his laning, he should be pretty strong. Lee Sin available, and Lucid, you know, oftentimes having Vi and Lee Sin banned away from him, and it's just Nasus.
Yeah, with Rumble already locked in. So we're gonna have to wait and see what the game plan for this one is gonna be. No way Showmaker pulls out the Syndra as well. Small buff to the ultimate. He always hovers this, so I don't want to read too much into it, but I would love to see it into the Azir. Try to put that lane pressure on early, as there's still a lot of other champions up in the AD position that he could play here. Misfortune. Okay,
where's this Nasus going?
We don't know. I mean, my guess right now would be support, but
I was kind of guessing jungle, but then now we've got an Ivern.
Showmaker will be playing the Nasus mid, it does appear, and that's not a surprise when you look at the solo queue stats. I'm not 100% sold on how this pick is going to work, but I think it's incredibly powerful in team fights with those equalizers.
A lot more standard on the side of BNK. Let's see how it goes as we hop into the rift for game number 1.
I think he was like, all right, well, let's just go hard on the scaling here. As, speaking of scaling, the Nasus will also infinitely scale. Raptor in a bit of danger.
All right, well,
coming through.
Yeah, he's going to see them, but the thing is, he doesn't really get to do much about this. He's also going to flash the enemy red side jungle.
Yeah, and they're just going to set up this extremely powerful lane here in the top side. Smolder going to be stacking and grabbing some plate gold early, just avoiding this early lane into Seraphine Ashe. Does mean that, and not the Smolder Rel duo, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think we showed that.
Yeah, could have been shared as well. Here comes Mohan level 2, but also Showmakers here. Raptor, remember, does not have flash, and he's already taken so much damage from the Ignite, and there's just no way to save him, as that's going to be first blood given to mid Nasus and a red buff, just for bonus.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing else.
right?
This is the comms. They have vision. No flash. Showmaker saying, I'm going, play it slow.
Not going to be doing too much in this game, and I love strategies like this where aiming just gets a free farm and everybody else is distracted as well. As the root's going to come down, and Duro in a lot of trouble here. Not even going to bother to flash, as he thought about it, but he's not going.
Showmaker is winning the lane, smashing the lane.
Yeah.
And he's got a Sheen, so he hits hard with his Q. And it's not even really stacked up. He only has 60 at the moment.
The thing about this is you level up your E, and the poke is just way more than Azir can do to an Nasus. And he's just going to ult as well, just for extra Qs, and to smack this turret really hard.
I mean, he can offer back. The jungle doesn't belong to Raptor. I hate to say it, Valis, but it's almost like this game is over at 6 minutes. I mean, they're 2,000 gold behind. They don't have a jungler.
Maybe 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and Smolder has a kill and a free lane, and now Clear's in trouble. I think he should be fine, but we're going to come up with that pressure on. I say it.
Yeah.
Be grubs, and I mean, there is not one single part of this map that's not completely on fire for BNK right now.
Absolutely. It feels like Raptors kind of scrambling around the map to have a really fun time. And you know, the other part of this draft as well is, okay, we're going to have a little bit of a 1v1 here. The Horn will be called. Kingen getting assassinated by Ornn himself, but at the end of the day, does he have kill pressure? Kingen might be forced to flash here as the flash comes in, and Kingen is just holding his flash and finally uses it at the very end, but gonna clear the wave. Here comes Raptor. He is in position. Will he have vision of this? Yes, he will. Comes on in, and Kingen, there's no wave here, and, well, Clear will live as well. Okay, so they Showmaker did get that first blood, as Duro's just kind of going for a walk in his own jungle. He thinks he's safe, but he's level 5 Seraphine, does have his flash, as he didn't use it before. Now he's going to use it.
That Henna can do. There's not much Duro can do without his ultimate here to try to punish this Smolder either, and if Raptor goes up and Lucid is there, he dies. Speaking of, we're going to try to challenge some vision here for these second grubs.
So this is kind of BNK's first stance in the game. They're like, okay, we're going to fight for this. We have to. And, I mean, they're going to get one. I do fear for them, for the rest of them, but they're bringing all 5 members up to the top river, very much BNK style, as they are going to throw down, but now Raptor kind of in a rough spot, already taking damage, goes for the Crescent Guard. Kingen, though, isolated, and he will be taken down pretty much for free. The Equalizer does a little bit of damage, but nothing compared to his death, as that kill also goes to Closer.
Yeah, Raptor, you know, had to ult, right? Was under a lot of fire there, but that's part of what Xin Zhao can offer you is basically this infinite brick wall that cannot be picked in a fight like this, in a skirmish like this, and then a very squishy Rumble trying to come over and actually close the flank there. Ends up just getting picked. Great turn from BNK. It's not really a pick comp at the end of the day with what they rounded it out with, but they can still go see target, kill target. Clear is be roaming up here. I don't think they have full information about this brush party, but he's obviously aware that it's very likely. Earlier, after that pick onto Raptor, and it looks like maybe finally we will see some action here as Closer has control of this bottom side. Kingen has TP, but is walking back to lane. They're instead going to commit to taking this turret out. Kingen's like very wisely staying away.
It's first turret blood. I mean, it's going to be a lot here for Closer, who also got that kill onto Kingen. So I feel like this is actually BNK PRX making some big strides to come back.
For getting turret aggro against Clear here in the top side for some of our D+ players, but we'll be fine. And now Clear is not in the clear. We'll have to leave, and that's going to be a turret here taken in return. Well, we had the gold lead at like 6 minutes, was 1,000. That went up to 2,000. And now BNK are basically dead even in gold with a few
I'm sure they were having a lot of fun, and there was a lot of laughing on the comms. But now they've got BNK to deal with as Moham, the target, but Izarel, do they have the damage? It looks like absolutely yes, as he gets blown up in midair, but now the damage coming out from the Smolder, from that Rumble, but Kingen frontlining once again, he does flash away, as Raptor finally does go down, and aiming and Showmaker still not dealt with, but it's still a man advantage here to the side of BNK PRX, as Showmaker is just smacking Closer down and away from his team. So much damage coming out from the Smolder and the Nasus as they're trying to desperately get somebody else, but they will not be able to.
Yeah, really great skirmishing comp here for the side of BNK. So incredibly powerful. You could chain those CCs together. They go on to Moham instantly. It's a 2-for-1 here. BNK take the lead and kill. Should be able to defend this turret initially here. The charge of the Herald will come through. They don't have a wave.
They still have Horn.
There it is.
Yeah, they want to pull it here. Let's see. And yeah, he's going to avoid that. Moham also going to crash down away. Some fights like that, and that was DK from behind. So really looking for Showmaker to kind of carry through the mid game, and then they've got the Smolder, obviously, for the late game.
Yeah. Showmaker has his Q max now, of course, as well. So once you have 5 points in that, and you start to really stack and scale, the laning E damage is very nice and all, but now he's a real Nasus. Now he's really bopping heads.
Start off with that Infernal Drake, especially with all their damage. Is trying to set up here is BNK, but now a line of brushes already coming in from the side of Lucid. Daisy keeping this one leashed and trying to poke a little bit with some trigger seeds and some shields going in. But this one is still Leash, and Daisy getting pretty low. Might just come down to a smite here, as it does go the way of Lucid, and a big knockup from the side of Moham, and all of those team finals just raining down onto that backline, and Raptor is the one that has to pay clear as well, as the rest of the team just could not fight because they were zoned.
Yeah. And now Baron?
Well, Seraphine's support doesn't really have any burst damage.
No.
So it's not going to beat Smite, and Lucid's not going to mess around with that, knowing the
Nice
threat.
try, Duro, but not enough. Closer.
Here comes Clear. Kingen not going to mess around this time. Does elect to flash. And now Closer in a bit of trouble. Look at that equalizer. It's burning the entire way. Has to get some shielding from the Seraphine, but Closer extremely low. DK, I feel like, you know, it's a very early Baron take, but they would love to get more out of this. They're trying to group up in mid and try to chip away at this inner. Here comes Clear, but they're just going to abandon ship and actually go up towards the top lane once again, especially because Closer is so low.
Yeah, you just, because of the placement of the equalizer in the turret, you have to walk alongside that wall, so he just doesn't really have a choice but to eat the damage. We'll get a little bit healed up here by Duro, but still, that is going to be a dead turret. I mean, this Baron is stacking up to 2,500, 2,700. You know, it's pretty huge. Right, front to back, then Henna can get the work done. If you don't actually win the fight before it starts, essentially, I just don't know if you can ever stop this scaling D+ comp. And they're just going straight to the Chemtech Dragon.
And this is just game one as well, and the fact that DK pulled out so many curveballs for game one. I mean, I say so many. I mean, it's Nasus mid. They got the Rumble as well. I feel like BNK not going to be quite as good as DK at adapting to a new patch. As Kingen trying to avoid everything. He's playing like a bullet game simulator. He's trying to avoid so many different ults, and finally gets taken down.
And it's never safe to be anywhere. They're just going to do Baron on respawn here again, because why not? Full vision. Closer doesn't have TP, they know it. He's rushing over as fast as he can.
Yeah. We'll be able to see this at some point. It looks like DK don't want to take the risk. I feel like with Ivern and Smolder, you do have a lot of damage and safety, but also doesn't feel like they really are in any rush, right? I mean, there's just so many threats and a large amount of scaling on the side of DK as well that you can kind of just sit around and kind of just wait with your lead, as that is what they're doing. The pick not really going to hit much. I mean, they get the flash at Elucid. They charmed. Oh, that's going to be a pick, though, onto Moham. They take down him, but he's just the support. What about the rest of the team? As here comes Bomb, just going to burn everybody down. And the amount of line ultimate damage that DK have is insane.
I mean, the fight was basically over by one equalizer on your 0-4 Rumble.
Hey,
picks up 1,000 kills. I don't know if he's picking up a W in this one. As they're once again going to contest here. Raptor has flash. Oh, no.
Well, yeah, they get the root here on a Closer. He is going to be able to dash away, but Shoemaker is taking names, and this is what I was talking about. If you are a squishy on the side of BNK, you are just running. No attacking. Showmaker is there, you run.
You are running and cleansing and flashing. And then you are
clenching, perhaps.
Yeah, and clenching a little bit, trying to get some additional information.
나서스 장인이야.
740 stacks.
Yeah. And I mean, you saw an example, even if you don't quite know the numbers. If he gets into contact with anyone, which can be a little bit difficult for Nasus, but I mean, there's a lot of different ways in the team and with his Wither for him to close the distance. And if he does, he will two-shot.
I think Closer needs to get in contact with Riot support, man. He's having a tough time against this Nasus. He's 0 deaths, by the way. Hasn't died yet on this Azir, but I mean, it's been a very messy game, to say the least, in terms of the ways in which BNK have tried to take fights, but they've been so far behind. Who can blame them? And D+ just sieging up these inhibitor turrets now. And I mean, it's just Smolder poke. Rumble has his ultimate at the ready. Anybody gets caught, he just drops that one down.
Yeah.
The Showmaker presses Q, and the turret's health bar goes to 0.
Yeah, he can also two-shot turrets as well, by the way. So good mention there. By the way, also the amount of MR shred that they have as well with Rumble and Abyssal Mask on the Nasus. Like, you hit a Harpoon and Nasus is next to you, you don't really have MR or tanks or health.
No.
Or anything, really. And that's going to help everybody on the side of DK. Everybody's got some AP. Now they're going to find Showmaker. That should be a big pick as he goes into ult, and the redemption doesn't happen. But a 4-man ult comes in from Moham, and they still have the Smolder to hop over the wall to flap on over and get the damage done. Raptor will also burn. It's a triple kill to the Smolder, as aiming no stranger to picking up all of the kills and all of the golds. And I said it the entire game, a lot of focus on the Showmaker, you know, and all this stuff, but aiming just farming away. 7 kills on Smolder, and DK will win this first game in flying colors, with flying colors, and in very fun fashion. It's clear not much he can do. A little Michaels comes out from Lucid and a thumbs up just to set the tone for this best of 5.
I'm just coming in and taking names every time. Like, look at the damage here on aiming. Look at the damage on King. And Showmaker was a cool pick. He had a great lane. He got that early pick. They had an amazing start in the jungle. But I feel like even if you ban the Nasus and they play this comp, you might just get owned anyways because... But I thought maybe they were just going to index into more aggression, more power, more lockdown onto this Zeri.
On the red side. We'll see how it goes as we hop onto the Rift for game 2.
Not to anything but a ward. I just feel like this draft feels very D+, you know, and not in the fun part, but just in the aiming part. And on the side of B&K, it screams, we got to get a tempo advantage, as Raptor is going to come over here.
Lucid had a defensive ward, so he knows that Raptor does come in. There's a Hawk shot as well, which may not have seen Lucid, but it doesn't quite matter, just because there's so much pressure here. Flash away from King, and actually very smart. I think if he gets hit there...
Side of the map as Moham and aiming are pushing these lanes freely. Notice that the CS is significantly in aiming's favor, as Henna will stuff like that. Still was able to counter jungle incredibly well.
He still doesn't have a splashback, which he had to use early on in the lane swap down the bottom lane. Now Lucid is going to, with the help of Moham, take down the first Drake, but 3 Grubs did go over to B&K. Proactive, right? Still no kills here at 10 minutes, as now we're going to have a missed ult over the wall. The Maokai ult's also coming over the wall, and now just a 1v1 between these two, and Clear has to flash the knock-up, and the all-out coming in from the side of King, and he picks up first blood. As now Closer coming in with his own ultimate. No flash here for Kingen, so not the easiest spot for him. And should eventually be taken down. He's trying to trade here on a Closer. It's going to take quite a while to eventually take him down. And there they finally
for said Renekton. So very strong start here for B&K.
Yeah. On DK, and they don't want to let aiming and Showmaker just free farm here. So trying to get some other big wins on the map, and they should be able to take down this first blood turret in the top lane as well. It's going to be some gold given over to aiming.
Ends up being, because that will be very, very important. Could be Infernal or Hextech with the Smolder.
Or Chemtech.
Probably not. Right? Yeah, it's Hextech. So they're going over. That's made an impact in this game already, as we do have an all-out.
Yeah, all-out in the bottom lane. Here comes Lucid as well, just for insurance, I guess. I feel like King might have also just been able to take him down. Here comes a TP a bit late from the Zeri, but now going in is Lucid. He's going to be able to pick up the kill, and Closer can't do much, but King once again kind of in a really unfortunate spot, as he will go down eventually. Big rotation over from the side of B&K to trade it back.
Yeah, once he hits like up to 125, he's going to start sacking a lot faster, and then will end up being a big threat. But Closer does grab a bunch of gold down here of plates. As now plates expire, we'll also get a turret. So I was going to mention it earlier, but now
he's just going to continue building it. At least that's the build that Closer's going to go for. And I mean, at the end of the day, he's still going to be scaling up, and he's really going to be the big carry for the side of B&K in this later game. As Flap does come out, aiming does not have to cleanse, but a lot of damage done to him because he wanted to hold on to that. And the pressure in all these lanes, especially with the Rift Herald, also picked up here from the side of B&K. Gonna look to try to get a big chunk out of this mid-tier 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Alistair in this one, crash it through. Enduro should be able to get out. Very difficult to punish this with the Rel in this situation with an aiming sitting on components.
Did you see that Moham didn't kill the Rift Herald because he wanted to give the 25 gold to aiming?
I don't know if it matters that much in this case, but you know, I love to see these little things. You know,
he's the gold king, and Showmaker might be the king of dying at this point. Doesn't know about the Renekton, has to flash, and he won't be the king.
Teleport. And D+ still want to play around with this.
I mean, if they're going to give Lucid free entry onto this, he has his ult, and Duro's just going in, trying to zone by himself. Lucid still in the tree, he smites it down, and they get the kill on a Raptor. Big knockup though, and now the Zeri's going to go bad. It's Clear is also on the back line. A lot of empty targets here for B&K to try to go for. Meanwhile, Kingen trying to go 1v3 and will get a kill, maybe a second one as the knockup comes in, and he will be denied a second one. as BNK will win the fight at the end of it all, but the Drake did go to DK.
Because of the lane swap, you also lose, okay, Raptor.
Yeah, Raptor's in a really awkward spot, pulled under the turret. Now, he's not alone, and so he just presses ult and leaves. And that's all that happens. Nothing else happens. The Lucid thinking about going for some kind of engage. They were pretty deep in the jungle, but again, for DK, sitting back, scaling, they got another Drake. They don't want to fight unless it's perfect.
And without Raptor. Inherently, too, just shoving these waves into this inner.
Yeah. On the side of DK, by the way, they do have a couple of 2-item spikes on both of their AD carries. So while they don't have their Smolder quite online just yet, they're still pretty strong.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have a big Magnet Storm, that sometimes might just be enough to turn the tide of this fight with the Mom ultimate. Still relevant, even without those stacks, but it is very difficult to win this fight without an isolated target getting blown up first. And they just don't have the same setup with Equalizer in this draft that they did in Game 1. So playing it very slow, very patient here as Kingen goes into the mid lane to clear the wave. But BNK are not being decisive, and this composition is a little bit awkward without an arrow connecting.
They just want to try to gank clear. Aiming is frontlining against Renekton, and the rest of BNK, they're not doing the dragon, they're just running down to try to save him. And I don't think that's going to work. An arrow's going to come in, it hits the Maokai. And now you don't have your Renekton. Bit of damage does come in now, but now the pick onto Closer. He is so dead. 100-0, down he goes. Immense pick comes out from Kingen. And now just the rest of them are just trying to run away. Lucid is probably going to give his life for this, and a lot of damage coming out from Henna, actually. But eventually, it's not clean, but it's still an ace from the side of DK, and it's 7k damage from Showmaker.
Yeah, that could just be the soul going over. They don't have a jungler, but I mean, there's no one to get massive once again here in this game.
He's just a clutch master. That's what he does, and he's clutching it out again. Now Showmaker trying to go 1v1, but it's not 1v1. There's a croc, but Showmaker gonna get the kill anyway. It's actually Lucid Sapling that gets the kill. Meanwhile, this fight on the bottom side is totally messy. Henna's not even in it. As yes, Showmaker will bite the dust. There is an arrow to hit aiming, and he's just barely out of turret range. Double kill goes over to Clear, as this one is absolutely a mess, but they might still be able to take down Clear another turret. Henna still not here, he's just in mid lane. And will they get Clear? I guess not, but it's still gonna be a one-team fight to DK.
Top turret. Meanwhile, over here,
yeah, trying to kill an Alistar, not the easiest target. He is gonna go unbreakable as Closer here as well. Kingen is not unkillable, so he does have to back away. But a nice Scuttle Crab pick up there. Gonna clear out all the vision around the Baron. And they do have an insane amount of Baron damage as well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're definitely in the we can rush Baron down territory as Lucid ults.
Yep, just gonna zone them away. And with the Hextech Soul, I mean, Henna just doesn't get to play the game. He's getting poked down from screens away. Imagine trying to play Ashe into this. It's just not fair.
It is not fair. Aiming still hasn't hit his breakpoint, by the way, which is kind of insane as well. I don't know what he's sitting on.
Yeah, well,
Closer,
you're really trying to kill Moham here, and they might be able to. It looks very close, but eventually he does go down. Kingen trying to frontline now, a little sleep on the Lucid. They want to get some kind of value out of this, but Kingen's still standing guard, and they're looking to turn this one around. RDK, as now another engage goes in on a Kingen. Maduro's just dead, and now the bouncing damage from the side of Aiming. They get the all out here on a Clear as finally 225 is hit, and Aiming is just running them down alongside of Showmaker, who is full health, and it's going to be another messy fight win to the side of DK.
They are likely about to lose the gold lead that they've had for this entire game. DK uncontested on this Baron. There's no vision here. There's nothing that a sad Lilia could do to come over here and look to steal.
Uh-oh. Duro does have his ult available. Lucid, though, so tanky, and a big ult over the top, but Clear's got a nice angle. Is it going to be enough? The damage, though, from the side of Smolder is just insane. Another lockdown comes in from Lucid as Henna is backlining, and he's dead. Well, that was confusing. Fear X are just going to run away as now Closer just trying to get out of this one, but he's going to be all outed as in goes the Cassante. It's a triple kill for Aiming. And they're looking for a bit more. That was an insane amount of damage from the Lilia, but it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And it looks like this might just be the beginning of the end. Two very, I mean, honestly, very easy team fights here for D+. I mean, the last one looked a little bit shaky at the beginning, but this Hextech Soul is paying off in dividends. And I mean, yeah, he took a long time to get his stacks, but Aiming, he's got 8 kills now. He is stacked, and they're going to end the game.
They're definitely trying to do so. Duro, I think, by himself, not really able to do much. He's slowed up again. He goes in. It's desperation, just trying to buy some time, and he will be able to do that, but the turrets and the wave are still alive. They'll take down both the Nexus turrets, and there's not much that BNK can do. Clear goes in. He dies, and Hannah and Raptor are just zoned away. All the slows, all the ticking damage, and Hannah just barely going to avoid that death. DK playing with their food because, well, they can. As in goes Raptor, and down goes Raptor, as does Closer. That's going to be the end of game 2, as D plus Kia took them a while, but once they hit their spike, they won the game.
Zeri going in, Closer ults, and then Kingen flashes and picks him off. There's some really clutch fights for D+, and then they're immediately just in the driver's seat for the rest of the way. I mean, you can see very clearly around 24 minutes when they start to get a little bit more control, then bam, they win those critical fights, get the Baron, and then there's a huge spike in the gold, and D+ just run it down to the Nexus and blow it up.
Hex Tech Soul and Corky and Smolder, 30 minutes into the game with a Maokai.
That if we see a lot of attention given to the top side and it's a more defensive setup there, bottom side for Ziggs, like sure you won't get plates, but they get this Camille ahead. They need to be coordinated.
Also true. This is game number 3. Let's hop onto the Rift.
The lane swaps have looked very good here for D+, as we'll just watch this again. Yeah. Face check and find out. Goes over, gets the ward up because he's getting picked there. Good preemptive expectation that that could go down. Anyone goes in that brush, they're in danger. Aiming in particular will not flash.
And Maokai feels like he has a much bigger team fight impact most of the time. Much more reliable, easier to use. Let's see what this fight looks like, though, as Moham's just kind of going in. Does have a bowling ball coming in from the side of Lucid, as Closer not having much threat from mid, and now in comes the satchel on aiming, but he's totally fine. Hannah trying to get that kill. He's actually not fine, has to flash away. Now Moham gonna go in. They do get the kill, but who gets out here? Moham has to flash, as he will go down. Closer picks up that kill. And so it's a trade 1-for-1 for the supports. Lucid is going to come on in and try to threaten here on the grubs, but maybe not, actually. Just kind of looking at them menacingly.
Okay, yeah. Showmaker.
Yeah, it's a little face check. Flash on in to deny the flash to Showmaker. 1 auto, and the Ignite is ticking, but Showmaker will barely survive. And now, level 5 Alistar. Oh, and the Ziggs bomb over the top. Gonna take him down. And yes, they get the Alistar, but it feels very good to take down Showmaker.
Yeah, still ultimately is a big win here for BNK. Close call there, almost didn't get Showmaker, but he backs in a pretty greedy spot and will be found by the bomb. He was greedy.
아, 근데 어차피 맞았을 것 같아.
And he knew it. Dragon, which alone is quite nice. Raptor just not here in time.
Huh. Aiming got the Q on that. And Raptor is going to lock that one down. Aiming, remember, he does not have cleanse, so I think he just kind of dies. Yeah, he's dead. And, I mean, really the only cleansable thing in this game is the Maokai, but if the Maokai hits you, then you just die. And now, finally, Hannah finding the entire enemy team at the worst possible time. Now, this is Mininar. This is the punish timing that we were mentioning. And here comes Alistar, Duro over the top, and it's a very quick flash. So that's one way to get away from the Alistar, but it's still going to be entire bot lane turret taken out by Ziggs, and now the entire top lane turret taken out by Ziggs.
Yeah, all you have to do. I mean, it's just so incredibly fast how you can punish with a Camille here.
They're not done yet.
Yeah, they're going to get a second topside turret here, very likely. Demolish will proc.
They're trying to dive here. I'm not sure about the dive, though, as Moham going to get it engaged on. He goes back in, as now he's in a bit of trouble. The sleep is coming down. Clear will avoid it. Gets the Q, but a lot of damage just coming out from Lucid. And the kiting begins. And Zeri is here. Oh, no. BNK in a really rough spot. They go a bit too deep, and they will be punished for it. You're not getting away from Zeri and Lilia. Maybe Raptor does with his Nimbus cloak, but no, he's just dead. Down he goes. That kill will be fed over to Showmaker, and Lucid is 4-0.
Yeah, Lucid is huge now in this game. Showmaker picks up a ton of money, but Aiming also is able to get the bottom turret. It will eventually go down there in the bottom lane. So BK, just a ton of greed as a teleport punish to come out here on the last legs of that ward. Clear is looking for him.
Yeah, he had a blue trinket, drops it down, he's gonna spot him, and Aiming's in a lot of trouble here. There is no ultimatum. I'm not sure if he gets out, actually. Maybe a flap. And no, he just flashed. Follow flash. And
I thought you actually got like the update on the prompter or something. I was like, that can't be right, Valdez.
24.
No, pretty sure I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw the upgraded queue. I'm like,
just trolling.
Sure.
Well,
but
trying to punish clear. He doesn't have flash. Hook shot coming in, but Magnet Storm denies. And now with Megadar coming down, he's just going to be ulted into the wall. One wall up will not be avoided. Nice try from Clear. One house will do it, as he will be taken down eventually.
All right. Well, one step forward, two
6 grubs to a Camille comp. That can be risky, but they got that first dragon again, and they're looking for the second one. Now, BNK, they have a Ziggs and they have a Rift Herald, so a lot of damage going to go into that mid-tier 1. They take down all of the tier 1 turrets.
Yeah, D+ should just walk away from this fight. I mean, this is not a fight you want to take right now unless you have the perfect engage, or if you punish Closer.
Or if Lucid is just allowed to walk up to a dragon again. Or, as you mentioned, maybe Closer just... Okay, very nice Valkyrie. So it seemed like he had a good idea. Now here comes Clear over the top, going to isolate Moham. And there it is, the Ziggs bomb over the top alongside of the Corki, able to follow up. And that's just a free kill on a Moham.
Yeah,
to have this really fed Lilia alongside of 280 carries. You just have multiple threats. They don't have many turrets, though. That is a 5th turret to fall already in favor of BNK. There's only 1 turret that went to DK. So most of this gold that is in the lead of BNK is coming in turrets and objectives, as now they're just going to do it again. Press an ult button and just get a satchel down onto a turret, as now Moham finds the Omega angle from the jungle, and a massive sleep is coming in. Closer gonna get the shutdown over to Seri. There's a kill onto Duro and make it a 3rd one. They feed those both to the Smolder, and DK are right back in the game.
Yeah. I mean, he's just like, I win this game.
볼게 나 봐줘.
I'm going.
나 가져.
Go. I mean, he called it a long time ago, but unfortunately the enemy team, for their sake, did not see it coming.
And you mentioned just before this,
가져.
like they don't have a lot, and it may be traded for an inhibitor, as Clear is going to be threatening that in mid lane. This is also going to be tons of gold here for D+, as well as map control. And if it's mid inhibitor, you can just kind of always be able to push that one out. So it's a significant catch back here and a great call from Clear.
Kalini's more of an enchanter guy, but Moham, he can play the rel like nobody's business. He has had an insane series so far.
He's still undefeated on this pick.
But there's just so many things you have to ban and deal with when you're playing against DK, that he just gets rel every game. As now we have another fight brewing here, not looking quite as good for DK actually, as now BNK have got him up against the wall, and Clear is going to get away. King and also pretty low themselves. Looks like BNK not really able to threaten or punish this too much though.
Yeah, will he get to that breaking point? I don't know how many stacks he's sitting on right now, but obviously getting much closer, and even if it's the slowest aiming Smolder stacks, I mean, we're 4 minutes away from the worst case scenario.
205.
205, yeah, he's much closer this time. Still pretty slow.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if once that's online, then the fights get so much tougher. And Lilia, because she has all that extra gold, turned the arm guard into a Zhonya's early, so now has a ton of extra armor, a lot more safety.
Which was certainly more in favor of DK.
I mean, I still think it's winnable, but Smolder just hit
Moham.
225, and Moham is
Oh,
up.
Moham. Just when we had a lot of nice things to say, he's just dead. Now, there's no objective, but...
You outrange the Smolder with your Ziggs Qs, so you just got to keep lobbing them in. Look at the zoning here as well from Hannah, trying to keep them away from this pit, but it won't last forever.
It's a lot of damage, bit of vision will be given by Mom, but look at Lucid, has to Zhonya's. I mean, he cannot get by the Ziggs, and he might just die to, okay, aiming, trying to block for the jungler.
They're still going to get this Baron.
Going to get the Baron.
Yeah, really well played. Zig bombs on the ground, keeping them out. Decisive call from BNK. These are the looks that we need to see from this team if they're going to maybe take the upset win tonight. We're just baby steps here. That will be Baron into Dragon. Will even us up 2-2. But that was really tough to play out for the side of D+, as Lucid just has to go to the Zhonya's. Is almost killed by Leandri's burn there off of that final Q.
This is the power of Ziggs. That
Clear is threatening this top turret. The inhibitor, like you said, is a gimme. Then they can collapse here around that top turret. I mean, you are not safe, D+. Have to play really far back. Moham this time not able to find that flank angle. This time, no way for him to actually go and trap or punish. Kingan's looking for a little bit of an angle himself, but all alone here. And his Narbar's in a really good spot, but he just cannot actually close the gap alone.
They really want to try to force something. We are not losing this game. As in goes King, and he is going to find closer. That's another stun with the wall up, as now Mom coming down in his sleep as well. But look at the damage that goes back on Elusive, but aiming gets the kill. And they finally find a way to take down closer.
Duro.
Yeah, Henna as well in a really rough spot. He has to flash away, has the satchel for some extra range, and he will get away.
Yeah, Duro is not going to get punished here, it doesn't look like.
Look at the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, they're threatening this Nexus turret. King's going in.
Yeah, King's going in. There's a TP, and Kingen doesn't have Mega. He is going to hit it, but now TP utilized. Kingen looking to go even more, but that is a Ziggs. And Kingen has to hop away from the mines on the ground. I mean, they cannot deal with the Ziggs.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors down now systematically here. This is the give up of the dragon I was talking about for...
They want Elder to spawn.
Yeah, they just don't really care about this dragon at all. It's not Soul. And even if it were Soul, you'd be like, oh, I'm not going to force the fight here with 2 inhibitors down. I guess we'll just wait for Elder, but it isn't even that Soul. It's just Soul Point, so confident in their turn. I feel like BNK are just not confident. Closer's in
closer.
danger.
Uh-oh, and the flash comes in. That's not, okay, finally the sleep comes in, but a lot of members of BNK are here, but Closer's in so much trouble. Moham finds the angle again. A lot of damage does come out from the Ziggs, but he's just not in range this time. Look at that burst, but it just doesn't matter. As Clear also going to be isolated in the top side. The GA goes down for nothing. And already Kingen is backing. He wants to join the team on the push. That might just end the game.
Yeah, and they are just going to take this turret out essentially for free here. As the wave is coming through, they need that wave. Kingen, just keep pushing. Just keep pushing him.
Yeah, because, yeah, he's even flashing on him. I mean, in a 1v1, Kingen will win, but Henna needs to clear the wave. That is a big super mega inferno bomb, and that is going to clear the wave. So, again, without Baron, I don't think you can end the game against the Ziggs.
The question is really, can D+ get this Baron done before everyone respawns here? Closer's up in 8, but no TP. I think they might have a window here, but Raptor is going to try to come over here, look for the punish onto Kingen. I just don't have any vision here. That ward is going to get cleared, and now the map is getting dark.
I just don't think they have a way in. I mean, Raptor's really going to have to, like, force his way through multiple members. Might be able to just barely get in here. He's got flash. Here comes Duro, but, oh, he's just slightly too late. Raptor not in range, and he didn't want to go for a flip anyway. As now, looking to catch Moham. Might be able to do this, but Raptor is going to take a bunch of damage. Moham as well. No, he's going to be taken down. So, DK, they lose their support, and they take the Baron, and they'll walk away with that.
Yeah.
What are they doing up there? I mean, they know that they're going to take the Ocean Soul, but the 2 of them are up in the top lane trying to push right now. Looks like Gaming's going to back. I mean, there's no TPs, so I feel like overcommitting there would be.
Held those players in place, but they just weren't confident enough to do it. And D+, they absolutely were, and now with Baron starting to open the map up even further.
Yeah, and Henna, I mean, he's trying to clear these waves, but the Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't do much, and it's up against Baron now, so this is going to be a different feel. Now, the wave clear is still very good with a full build Ziggs and Corki, but I mean, as you mentioned, it's going to open up the map. It's going to give angles for DK. I mean, DK were finding angles when there weren't really angles to find, and BNK kind of just gave them a couple of gimmies. And now, from ahead, I feel like DK have a lot more options. So, going to look to take down this mid inner and get the most out of the Red Bull Baron power play.
Yep, now starting to put the threat on the second inhibitor turret first, but wave clear is coming through. It's good, and it has his ult back up. And
right.
Yeah, so he did. Yeah, he sold that. I'm looking at BNK, and I'm like, if you can't clutch this, you're not going to round 2. You know, you have to clutch this Elder fight. You have to be decisive. They have the inhibitor respawn now. Okay, clear isolated.
This looks like another one of those fights, but Lucid! Oh, he nearly dies. He's burning, and 1 bomb. Okay, he's going to be saved. And the burn, I mean, it was still going on. He is saved by the Locket.
30 seconds Soul, you know?
Yeah.
As we are just grouping faster as D+, while their jungler had 0 health, BNK are just going to hope and put everything on Clear's side lane push. And it's D+ who start the Baron, Valdez!
Yeah.
You gotta do something. You're not going to round 2.
Clear is going to try to join with the team. TP is coming in. The damage is ticking on this Baron already. Lucid in the pit. And they just have the damage on this one. Raptor being zoned away. He gets in the pit, and it goes to Raptor. BNK get it, but down will go Clear, I believe. Somebody up there on the top side. No, it's actually Closer. who was isolated, and so the Baron goes to B&K.
Let's watch Raptors steal actually first before we talk about this.
바로 먹었어.
Yeah, just gets it. And he's like,
아래
I got Baron.
봐주면 돼.
You know,
아,
if
이거
D plus get Baron
살아봐.
and Elder and Cork,
Clear doesn't have TP. There's no way to punish the base, and D Plus can just start this Elder up right away. They put everything into a Meganar, and Kingan walks away. He still has TP. And Elder greater than Baron, I think, in this situation, especially with a Smolder that's full build. D Plus with a huge win again, despite the steal from Raptor. They just get nothing in return in the fight.
yeah, I mean, they can, okay, they're not even gonna get a proc there. They can try top just because there's no turret, so you don't really have to dive anything, and that is going to be B&K. They have to back away.
Yeah, they have the Meganar here for just a brief amount of time as well, so they should be able to get this inhibitor for free.
Yeah, and they would love to dive. They would love to. B&K, if they give them an angle, DK will dive you.
I mean, they have kind of an angle now with this wave here.
How did this wave get in?
And
That wave needs to be cleared. They're just getting a free turret. And now Duro's just gonna engage. That's a very nice engage. In goes the Camille. Big wombo combo, but Moham finds the engage. It's not quite enough. Where's the damage from DK? It is not quite there. They take out the Smolder, but Kingan's in the back line as well, trying desperately Lucid as well, trying, but it's not quite enough. B&K will wipe D plus Kia in their own base.
Super clutch move from Duro, saving the game. It's like each individual player has his moment here for B&K. With Raptor getting the Baron steal to help to keep them alive. It's a full wipe, and D Plus once again stopped in the base. We saw Kingan's fantastic base defense when they played against each other in that second round robin, and this time it's B&K who get it done. Elder's not proccing enough. Taking out aiming in that initial fight was so critical. And it looks like we are going to 4, Valdez. I see the series materializing on my hands, and I didn't think B&K had it in them to clutch this one out, but Raptor and Duro certainly did. It is never over until it's over.
50-minute game goes over to B&K, and we will have a fourth one on the cards.
Alistair engage was fantastic, and it's just so incredibly close. It's on such a nice edge that maybe D Plus should have just played it slower there. The Ziggs was such a big problem, the constant wave clear, such a back and forth game. And an Showmaker Kiana angle, right? Right, Valdez?
This
Come on.
is kind of blind.
All right.
Yasuo.
Closer is just going to give him the Akali. That is an iconic pick here in the mid lane for Closer. And, I mean, it can be quite a nice matchup. The Shroud makes it really frustrating to play Yasuo.
They have done it by their own hand. Let's see how it goes as we hop onto the rift for game 4. Games, though, right?
He has played, I believe, 7 games in total, including that last one.
Of Rel?
Of Rel. So I think he's
That's
6
a lot
and
of
1
games,
now.
actually. Yeah, I think you're right. I remember seeing 6 and 0.
So I believe he's 6 and 1.
Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, he's played a lot of Ashe in recent times, but Zeri has always been his fallback. And there's been a lot of metas where you had to play Zeri, otherwise you probably were not feeling pretty good about... Duro's just going to slam the ground, and actually the trade is pretty good for B&K. And that is going to force the barrier here out of aiming. So kind of interesting that Duro almost baits that fight into happening, and it feels pretty good for them.
Yeah. Moham is like, nice counter to Rel, by the way.
They're going in here on a Moham, as Moham trying to open up the skill for Duro. Aiming once is gold, but it's first blood that goes over. Look at the flash! That's going to force aiming to flash over the wall here himself. He's still fighting here against Henna, as he does have to press the attack. Is it enough damage? Trying to dodge the Qs, is aiming. The extendo beam also dodges. Henna's gonna flash away. One more Q to hit aiming, and look at this. Showmaker is here in the bottom lane, and aiming says, no, that's my gold. You go back to your lane.
Kind of a disaster.
형이야.
So it's certainly not the instrument we're looking for. Raptor is down here as a level 6 Viego. Maybe they can make something happen, but he's so squishy. And it's hard to pull this one off into this Rel, and they're just going to let it go. Aiming will clear this wave, maintains that 10 CS advantage. And on the top side of the map, this time it's Lucid, who's actually getting grub control. They'll trade it for a Dragon here.
again, seeing clear on Ornn just kind of hurts.
Well, I mean, look, it's still early days. I think there's a lot of ways to set up this Akali, but meanwhile over here, we're having a bit of a fight, a bit of a tussle.
Oh, that knockup was so close to hitting, but now they're going to get the knockup from, you guessed it, Darrell. The Ignite comes in onto Duro. They're going very deep for this one. Pretty forced from the side of DK, and this area's getting a lot of value. Showmaker just going to flash away, especially with Closer coming on over. And that's just not going to amount to too much. Yeah, once again, they didn't mark Moham. Duro was not able to zone him away, so the Wombo comes in, and you never really got a pick because aiming just flashes the Ornn horn, and so you're missing a lot of engage. And
trying to look for the pick with Clear's ultimate, as Closer's in trouble now.
Yeah, just kind of ult him as well as kind of just poke him with the lance. Doesn't really do much, but it zones him away.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting the turret, so it's a lot of gold. A lot of money to the Gold King.
Everybody backs away. They're like, yes, yes, your highness. The Gold King must collect. And it's still...
He's like, I saw 63!
Still gets split.
TP!
Yeah, the TP comes in, the last breath comes out from Showmaker. Closer does get away, but they force the flash here, and the turret's going to go down. So they don't get the kill, but they're still pretty happy with it. RD plus Kia. Duro, awkward spot here. He's getting run down by a Lilia, who is level 10, and now we've got a massive equalizer. Closer is out of the fight. The resets are used to disengage, and there are no resets to be had. Steve plus Kia are kind of just owning them here in game number 4.
This is almost
you know, this could have looked like a different game, but just the execution was not there.
Yeah. I mean, Closer is, this is his game now.
Well, he's on a ward, so yeah.
Can't farm.
Kinga knows where he is, and he can see him, and he's burned to a crisp.
He knew it. We knew it. He was like, I probably die, but I guess I need to kill the minions, and Kingan will also die.
Yeah, again, not the cleanest series. He's trying to actually punish Raptor, and Raptor's gonna burn down as well. Where he just gets super far ahead.
He's on a ward. He knows he's in relative danger. Like, that's why he's hiding in the brush. He doesn't know he's on vision. And then he just chases him around, predicts where he's going to be. Not that he would have gotten out if he missed most of that flamethrower anyways. And then, see his reaction here as he avoids the stun. Gets slowed by Zeri. And clicks him and walks towards him and says, I got him.
Yeah. He's a bit surprised.
Big game hunter.
Big game hunter, Kingan's nickname.
But DK are getting wins elsewhere.
I mean, they're getting the mid turret.
Top turret.
Top turret. They can get the Herald.
But he's also just... It's a very happy Lilia. Okay. Whoa, I was getting scared. Aiming has to flash away, but now you've got a Rel. But the reset, the Heartbreaker coming in onto Aiming, but he can't get the kill. They cannot extend enough, and it was desperation to try to take down Aiming in the first place.
I mean, like I said, or I was alluding to before we had that fight topside, he's got BT. He's hard to kill. Have the gold, the items to blow him up in situations like this, so he just allows his shield to eat the damage. He's got barrier. And now Duro is going to get burned down a little bit.
This is 17 minutes into the game. Yeah, threatening the inhibitor turret.
And they will get it. Not even close to a defense here. No answers, no opportunities. Closer is backing. And they'll even save the Herald and send it elsewhere. A nice little taxi over to the Dragon. Cool, back to farming. More gold for me. Thank you. He has 70% KP this game. Has just widely been
in the lane, and we haven't seen it have really a good team fight just yet. Kingan is in the brush here, and he's got the entire team following up, but clear he really wants to take down Kingan. Kind of trying to reminisce from game 1, if you remember. Kingan got bullied a lot, but here are a lot of members of DK. That's a kill, and Moham gets the 3-man ult again. Again, who could have seen that coming? As Closer is trying to run away, he's going to ult 2 away, but here comes Lucid trying to dive alongside of Moham, who's going to tank the turret. And Lucid might just have the speed up to get it done. The sleep is coming in, and one bowling ball could get the job done. Oh, Duro! Oh, that's so sad.
It is so sad, but I think he knows this one is done and dusted. Valdez, 14 kills to 3. This is like when D+ took Gen G down last time around. We haven't seen too many one-sided games like this, but... And D+'s games have been pretty long, you know, pretty drawn out, but not this one. Not this one. 20 minutes, 2 inhibitors down. You'd have to witness for them to toss this lead away.
Who are you going to give POG to, Wolf? Just curious.
I think it's going to be that man right there with the horse pants and now a Baron buff under him.
Rel. Who do you think Right Media is going to vote for?
Yes, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, look,
Aiming. I mean, he has a lot of.
Look at this. Look at this angle.
Yeah, I mean, clear. I mean, he's trying to be the Ornn engager.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe this was one of the reads from their scrims and from the new patch. They say, okay, we really like Clear on Ornn. We like the way he's able to enable our carries, but we just haven't really seen it in the series at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to find some sort of angle on these squishy frontliners.
Dura was hiding behind the turret, hex flashing. It's actually really cute. Kind of difficult to see that he's charging up the hex flash. But at the end of the day, the cuteness probably not enough. As Clear, he's got an angle that is going to hit 3 people. Duro goes in, and well, you guessed it, the Rel ult onto 3 people again. And there you go, the Wombo Combo Comp is going to win game number 4, and D plus Kia will be moving on to round 2 of the Uri Bank playoffs. And there you have it, 19-3, 23 minutes is game number 4. Nothing like game 3, and DK, they get the cherry on top.
Yeah, Moham's like, look, I only played Rel. What a shocker. I feel like BNK fans are going to be really, really, really disappointed with the drafting today. And I started the series off saying, you know, Ryu has an opportunity to build a legacy.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Seja for the post-match interview of Uri Bank 2024 LCK Summer Playoffs. D plus Kia has secured their spot in the round 2 of the playoffs with a victory today. Let's welcome the starting 5 players on the side of D plus Kia: Kingen, Lucid, Showmaker, Aiming, and Moham. Congratulations on the win, everyone. First up, Kingen. Today, you not only achieved 2,000 assists in the LCK, but also advanced to the round 2 of the playoffs. How do you feel? Well, I did not know that I hit 2,000, but you know, it feels amazing to find out. I realized that because one day I looked up my own kind of stats, and then I figured I don't really have many kills because maybe I'm just too nice and always let my teammates take the kills, but one day I can also hit the kill milestone as well. And once again, you showed your strength as the CEO Kingen in the playoffs as well. What do you think is the most important factor in the best of 5 series? I try to remind myself that this is, you know, same as the regular season match, to not get too nervous. So if you just play on your, you know, usual rhythm, I think the opponents will kind of rush themselves. So I guess like that's why people sometimes tell me that I'm very consistent when it comes to bigger matches or best of 5 series. And lastly, anything you would like to say to the fans out there? We really wanted to get a 3-0 today. Too bad that it was a 3-1, but still, I think this could be a great chance for us to come back even stronger based on the outcome we had today. We're not sure yet who we're going to face in the next round of the playoffs, but I promise that we will come back stronger. Next up, Lucid. This is your second time advancing to round 2 of the playoffs since your debut. How do you feel? Once you make it to the second round, you get one other chance. So I really wanted to, you know, advance to the second round, and I'm so happy that I made it happen this time. And today, D Plus kind of consistently gained a lot of advantage early on with your jungle pathing. Was that something that you focused on while prepping for the playoffs? Well, I kind of prepared this by myself because Raptor, he's a rookie player. He has never been to playoffs yet, so if I can go for some cheesy early game build or pathing, it can kind of really get into his head, and I think kind of worked. Also, congratulations on winning the Rookie of the Year award, Lucid. How do you feel about that? You only get one chance to win the Rookie of the Year award, so I'm so happy that I won it this year, this season, and I'm so glad and proud that I managed to get so many celebrations from the fans. To wrap up, what are your goals and resolutions as you head into the round 2 of the playoffs? So we're gonna play up against either Genji or Hana live. You know, both of them look very strong, so we will do our best in the next round of the playoffs as well.
네, 이어서 쇼메이커 선수와 이야기 나눠보겠습니다.
Next up, moving on to Showmaker. Congrats on advancing to the second round of playoffs. What aspects did you focus on while preparing for the match today? BNK Furex, they kind of focus heavily on their top side, so our main focus was the top side skirmish and combat. Game number 1, you picked Nasus mid against Azir. What led to this pick? What kind of interpretation did you have about the current patch? I mean, I'm a big new champion enjoyer of the mid lane, you know? Because it's a best of 5 series, you know, you better have pocket picks up your sleeves in order to kind of play the mind games. So I think it kind of worked. Then do you have anything else in the round 2? I mean, today even I played a lot of new champions, which means I have even more up my sleeves. So you can stay tuned for that. We still have, you know, second match of the first round to watch. Also, we don't know who we are going to face in the second round as well, but we will make sure that we will give our all in the next match. And aiming, you continue to showcase your strong performance in the playoffs. How do you feel about the win today? Feels great to win. I kind of think that we did manage to get a clean win today, so it feels amazing. So early on in the series, you played Smolder for 3 games in a row, even as R1 Smolder in game 3. So what are your thoughts on Smolder? His late game is absolutely strong, so we wanted to secure that pick in order to kind of utilize the late game carry potential. And then you picked MF into Zeri, and MF was actually, prior to today's series, was on a 1-4 head-to-head record into Zeri. Well, in fact, MF right now, her stats are so strong in the laning phase, so as long as you can get through lane, you know, I knew that my teammates will allow me to win out the entire game as well, so I didn't really have too much worries about locking Misfortune into Zeri. Then who do you think you'll face in round 2 of Genji Hana Live? Actually, I still have a group chat of your last year KT roster, so I asked the guys, and Lehan's replied, "We're gonna choose you." So I don't know. I think I already have the spoiler. Then what are your resolution and thoughts heading into the round 2 of playoffs? I mean, we are off to a great start right now, so I hope we can win the round 2 match as well and win the LCK title.
네, 이어서 모함 선수와 이야기 나눠보겠습니다.
And lastly, Moham.
너무 귀여운 인형을 들고 계시는데 혹시 뭔지
I
여쭤봐도
see you holding a cute little plushie toy. What's that?
저희 마스코트 쇼가살이라고 하고요.
This is our mascot, the Showmaker Starfish.
사진 찍기로 했었는데
We promised to do a group photo, and then I thought it was really cute. I just wanted to bring out to the stage as well.
멋진 활약으로 승리한 소감 여쭤보겠습니다.
This was your first playoffs, Moham. How do you feel after the entire series just wrapped? I had a great meal right before the match, so I had really good feelings. And I told my teammates today's gonna be a good day, and then I actually did deliver, so it feels great. What did you have for lunch? Pho, also banana, and then an energy bar, protein bar, and then Americano, a cup of Americano, also Coke. So everything was just like there for me to kind of showcase the best performance. And you won multiple POGs today as well, and your RAL is 7-1 currently, including CL record. It's actually was on a 11-game winning streak. How confident are you in your RAL? For sure, my most confident pick, but I didn't realize, or I didn't really know that I would get to play Rel 4 games in a row, and everyone was on the same page. Even my teammates were like, just give him Rel. So you have been playing a very important role since the end of the regular season, and now in the playoffs as well.
해줄 테니까
Today as well,
마음대로
you know,
걸어도 돼.
aiming
라고
told me
얘기해줘서 좀
I will
시원하게
be
했던 것
able to
같고,
do damage for you
나머지
guys. So just don't be afraid to go in for engages. So I'm gonna keep that play style until the end of the playoffs. I'm just gonna go in for plays and start up the team fight for my team. Now before we go, Showmaker, ask the captain, can you send a message to the team that you will be facing in the round 2 of the playoffs?
아직은 몰라요. 아직 모르죠, 여러분.
Likely to be Genji based on aiming spoiler though.
될지 모르겠지만
We have no idea yet, but we will do our best.
기대해보도록 하겠습니다, 여러분. D+ 기아 선수분들께 다시
One
한번
more time, let's give a big round of applause to the D+ Kia players. And now I'm gonna throw it back to the space. Thank you.